Mr. Bosenberg, you know that Leighton 3 does not belong to Alexander Jackson, don't you?
I don't know if I could definitively say that 100%.
Well, Leighton 3 was suitable for identification, right?
I don't even know if I would go that far. There was data points there that could be used for identification.
You entered it into the computer and it kicked back other prints, right?
Yes, but that doesn't really give us an indication if it's identifiable or not.
Not one of those was Alexander Jackson's print, was it?
I don't know that for sure because when it kicks back numbers, not a name.
You know it didn't kick back Alexander Jackson.
I can't definitively answer that right now.
I think, well, is it because you can't remember?
Yeah, I don't remember the numbers that popped up on the screen for number 3.
If you couldn't exclude Alexander Jackson, you would have put that in your report. Would you not have?
I'm sorry, could you say that again?
So there's no mention in your report that Leighton 3 could possibly belong to Alexander Jackson, right?
Yes, I didn't mention that it could belong to him.
And that's because you excluded him as a potential source for Leighton 3, and that's why you put it in the computer.
They were put in the computer first before I did any comparison to any other known prints.
You know that Leighton 3 did not belong to Alexander Jackson. Isn't that true?
Your Honor, objection, asked and answered. Asking the same question 3 times isn't going to give him a different result.
All right, the objection sustained.
There were enough markers on that print that made it suitable for identification. Is that not true?
Again, I can't definitively answer that. There were data points on that print that could be used for identification, but without a suitable known print, I can't definitively answer if that print
There were enough
could be identified.
data points on that print that did not match the palm prints of Alexander Jackson, correct?
That's, again, a tough question to definitively answer. The palm is so large with enough data points. I guess I don't know how to accurately answer that question.
Well, you didn't submit Leighton's 1 or 2 into the computer, did you?
I did.
Well, okay, but you already had Alexander Jackson's prints.
So Alexander Jackson's prints were on file. I matched them up because when I submitted Leighton 1 and 2 through the system, he was the number 1 respondent through the algorithm.
You had him on file because you collected him from him when he was arrested.
Yes.
But Leighton 3 got treated differently, didn't it?
No.
Because you didn't, Alexander Jackson did not come back as a potential source for that print, did he?
I don't know. Sitting here now, there was 5 top respondents, and I went through them, and I didn't document the numbers that those 5 came back to.
So you're saying here today you don't remember that you could exclude him, or you don't remember whether his name came up as a potential source for that print?
Well, names don't come up in the system. It's numbers.
Numbers, whatever.
Right.
You're saying you don't remember now.
So when you get respondents back, there's lots of numbers that pop up. I didn't document which numbers number 3 responded with. As I went through them, that wasn't documented.
Well, this is a triple homicide case, right?
Yes.
This would be an important case to you, correct?
Yes.
And detail matters, doesn't it?
Yes.
And at no time when I was first questioning you about this, did you ever say that you couldn't exclude Alexander Jackson, correct?
Yes, I don't believe I was asked directly about that either.
There's a reason why you testified. When I asked you in deposition, you said Leighton 1 and 2 belong to Alexander Jackson, correct?
Yes,
And when I asked you about Leighton 3, you said it's unidentified,
that is correct.
meaning you could exclude Alexander Jackson.
That means I don't know who it belongs to.
Because sometimes you have enough of a print that even though you can't make a definitive match, you can exclude certain people as the source, right?
That is potential in prints, yes.
And this was that instance, right?
I don't recall. Again, this print wasn't of the greatest quality, so I struggled with the quality of this print.
I don't understand why you say you don't recall. This is an important detail. I don't understand why I don't recall is an acceptable answer for you.
Is there a question there, Your Honor?
Go ahead, Mr. Johnson, ask your question.
So I'm asking you, search your memory, because I guess that's what we have to do now. And you say, can you exclude Alexander Jackson or not as the potential source for that Leighton 3?
I have not found a match for that latent print. I don't know the source of that latent print at all.
I understand that.
Yes.
I understand that you haven't found a match. And you didn't know whether some of the prints that came back on the computer were matches or not because you didn't have enough information, right?
Right.
But there are times when you, even though you can't have a match, you can exclude people because there's enough difference. Isn't it true that you could exclude Alexander Jackson as the source of Leighton 3?
Yes, it would be a true statement that he potentially could be excluded by a thorough examination of those two.
Are you saying you didn't do a thorough examination?
I examined them for a while, but like I said earlier, the palm print is so big, and there was the detail of that one print was so few that I wasn't able to match it up at all, but I don't know if I would go as far as, it's an unknown. I don't know where that print came from.
I understand, but you do know that it didn't come from Alexander Jackson.
That's a good possibility, yes.